Everyone. Hi, happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to our live book reading. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. I'm getting ready to start getting situated. So, hi, Charlotte, how are you? So, if you're joining me wherever you are, say hi. Let me know what you guys are doing today. It is, believe it or not, I'm actually kind of shocked, a gorgeous Friday in Texas. So I'm only semi-melting here like all the other nights that we have had. So it's super pretty for everybody who's in Texas. I know it's only like, I don't know, early 90s, I want to say, 93, 94, and like 100 with 100% humidity. So I'm glad, Charlotte, you're doing well. For anybody else who's joining us, I am live right now for everybody watching. I'm doing TikTok, I'm doing YouTube, Facebook. So we're going to go have some fun today. So today, our book reading for everybody who's been watching and figuring out what we're trying to do, we're going to read from Recruited. So here is the fun part about today's reading. This is a little mashup. So this is a mashup between fantasy, post-apocalyptic, and lots of dark humor. So for anybody who's been wondering, I write quirky. I have no issues admitting this. I'm just going to put it all out there. I have a blast. I enjoy stories that have a lot of action, but I want them to be really fun. I want them to come with a, there's some sarcasm, there's some everything you can possibly imagine, just to keep you guys fun and entertaining. So one of the things that I realized when it came to post-apocalyptic or dystopia stories, they always feel a little dark. So they always have this thing about, yes, the world is ending, in the world something happened, and everything is just very, very gloomy. Everything's just typical, the world fell apart. So this is a little bit different take on this world. So it takes place as part of my Reaper's universe. So for everybody who's been watching, this is about 60 or so years in the future. It's still going to be in Texas for everybody. So I'm going to give you some insights, and we're going to do chapter 1 of Recruited. So hi, Katie, joining us. Thank you so much. So hopefully you guys have a blast. So today so I decided to do themes nights in terms of my drinks. So for our main lady, Elijah's doing sangria, so we're going to toast some sangria for her tonight. So whatever your favorite is, grab one, enjoy it. This is full of just sass and sarcasm and a whole bunch of madness, and I'm going to give you kind of a little bit where this story came from. I've done something that I'm probably never going to do again. I kind of named two of my characters, the main characters, way too close to each other. When I picked them out, I thought it was hysterical. So, things that are usually really funny in the middle of the night, and then you wake up and you're like, maybe not as funny as I thought. So for anybody who has, glanced at the Old Testament, I love the stories of Elijah and his disciple Elijah. That's my thing. I love them. I love their chemistry. So I was like, oh my God, we're going to play some tribute to these two prophets and everything they have done. So this is one of my characters. I named that. Except when you're writing and reading out loud, I was like, that's probably not the best thing I have done. So if you see me tongue twisted a little bit, just bear with me. I'm slowly struggling with it. So now I understand why everybody was going, what were you thinking? I wasn't. I thought it was really funny. Might not be as funny as I think right now. So other than that, we're going to have some fun today, I promise. So let me give you a bit. We're going to do chapter 1. So in case anybody is wondering where this story came from, probably in the midst of COVID. So think 2021. It was one of those things. I am definitely in East Texas, and I'm usually kind of amazed because every day, regardless of what's going on, my neighbors are notorious for having immaculate lawns. It just seems to be like an Olympic sport. And every time I was trying to do something, somebody was cutting the lawn, which was always amazing to me. I was like, why? What is going on here? So this is kind of the whole, what if I could have some zombies cut my lawn? Could I pull it off? If everything shut down and went to hell, could I pull this off? So this is what this crazy idea popped into my head, to have a cat that can control zombies and have his own lawn service. This is kind of how much time you spend in Texas and the things that cross your mind. So all you authors out there are probably going, I can see that. Hey, things come into our minds and you're going, what was I thinking? Why did I do this? Did I really do this? So the first scene literally came, I want to say like, probably a very quick out of the blue situation. Then I really thought it was hysterical. I was like, that's actually pretty funny. What if we do this? So I jotted down on a piece of paper, went back to what I was doing, paid very little attention. Within an hour or so, I got actually an invitation to be in an anthology for post-apocalyptic. And I was like, oh my God, I have the perfect story. So this is kind of how that baby came about. So because we're going to have some fun, I'm going to go ahead and read chapter 1. This is a really short novella. It is actually on paperback and hardback on Amazon, as well as an ebook for anybody who's interested. Super, super short, but it's also the first in the trilogy. So it is supposed to be recruited, betrayed, and revenge. That's kind of the name of those 3 stories. Super fun. I do have some gorgeous covers that I can't tell you yet about, but yes. Charlotte says beautiful cover. It is so much fun, and it kind of gives you that attitude that goes with her. One of the things about Elijah, who happens to be super amazing, is unlike most of my heroines who kind of, calm, cool, and collect, she is how should we put it? She knows who she is. She's very comfortable in her personality. She doesn't have to kind of be like, oh my God, what? She knows who she is. She knows what she embraces. She knows how powerful she is, and she doesn't really care. So it makes it for a really interesting leading lady. So we're going to get started because you guys came here to have them book reading. Remember, I am not a professional narrator, so I'm going to do the best. I'm going to interject throughout any of the stories to kind of give you some insights on the book. What was I thinking? Why I wrote it? Why I thought it was funny. If you guys think not really as funny as you think, DC, let me know. It'll be fun. We'll chit chat. In the meantime, my friends, salut. May you guys all have an amazing Friday. May you guys have been blessed. And let's get started. So grab a drink. So let's have some fun. And because normally I have drinks, I also grab some water. So in case you guys stay hydrated. Let's get started. Here is let's be honest, here is chapter 1 on Recruited. This is book 1 and book 1 on the Chronicles of Elisha and Elijah. I really should have written that in Spanish, and it would save me some headaches, but hey, lessons learned. Here we go. Sweat rolled down the sangria glass next to Elijah. Her perfect mocha complexion soaked up the sun in her bright yellow bikini. It was the perfect day to lounge around and do nothing. Then again, that described every day for Elijah. She often spent her time sitting around her backyard reading old fantasy novels or just watching the grass grow. Elijah, your pet just decapitated himself. Again, unless you yell at her familiar. Shit, not another one, replied the cat. Elijah did not really reply out loud, but telepathically to Elisha. Fortunately for the world, she was the only one who could understand him. After over 70 years of being bonded, words were often unnecessary. This is the 5th one this week, Elisha commented as Elijah rushed past her. Thank you, Captain Obvious, Elijah hissed. It's not like you don't have a short supplies of zombies or anything, Elisha pointed to both sides of their house. Zombies roamed the empty lots surrounding the forest field around their house. While her property had manicure and lush green lawns, the neighbors sported a semi-jungle overrun by Mother Nature. Elisha took a deep breath and stared. She remembered when they had living neighbors, when her house in Texarkana blended with the rest of the town. There was a time when Texarkana was the haven for the supernatural community and the headquarters for Death and her crew. So for anybody who's wondering, I did say this takes place in the same universe as my Reaper's world. So this is 60 years in the future. So the whole entire mystery for anybody who's been watching this series is what happened to everybody? What happened to Death? What happened to Pestilence? Even more, where are my boys? Where's Isis and Constantine? So this is going to kind of fill you in as we go with the series. But 60 years, she is in Texarkana. She's kind of hanging out. And what else you do when everything went to hell? Basically, I guess you drink sangrias and just sunbathe. What else is there to do? So this is what she does pretty much most of the time. Those years were long and gone. There was nothing left in this peaceful residential area full of life and joy. Earth to Elisha. Come in, Elisha, Elijah demanded. I'm here, Elisha replied, sipping her sangria. Right. Elijah marched over to his pet and examined the damage. Maybe giving a bunch of zombies power tools was not the best plan for their survival, Elisha told him as she watched the blonde zombie accidentally chop off the hand of his companion. Ouch! If she was alive, that would hurt. Fortunately for us, they're all dead. Elijah rolled his eyes. Unless you want to trim the hedges and take care of the grass, no comments from the peanut gallery. Negative, my furry friend. That's your department. Elijah raised her glass to the angry feeling as he marched around the corpses. I do not do manual labor in that field. In case you're wondering, I don't like landscaping myself, so if I could outsource that, which most of the times I do, I'll be very, very happy. So I'm feeling her pain, just in case you guys are all wondering. So here they go back and forth with this. All of you, stop that! Elijah ordered the zombies, who froze in their tracks. Elijah, the kitty necromancer. What will the order think? Elijah giggled. Considering most of them are dead or scattered around the world, I don't give a flying flip about them, Elijah replied, not bothering to look her way. Ring, ring. Elijah and Elijah both froze. Nobody ever rang their doorbell. There was not enough living people in the town to dare walk around. The good news was, if they made it through the force field, it meant they'd come in peace. But who was crazy enough to approach the front door? Ring. Guess they're not going away. Elijah stood from her lawn chair. I'll be right there, Elijah told her. Take your time. I got this. Elijah winked at the cat, taking the machete that was laying on the ground next to her. The air condition hit Elijah as soon as she entered the house. She tossed her black hair over her shoulders and cracked her neck. It was a miracle the generator was still running around after so many years. Maybe humans were better at building things than they were at medicine. But Elijah doubted. She took one deep breath, sensing the humans on the other side of the front door. What role to play? Nice or bitchy? Elijah asked herself as she examined the living room. Been a long time since the last visitor. Nice it would be. She opened the door and stared at the three humans on the other side. They stared back. The contrast was mesmerizing. Elijah stood relaxed in her tiny yellow bikini, while the trio were in black business suits covering every inch of their skin. It did nothing to hide their pale faces and dark circles under their eyes. If it was nighttime, the group would pass for hungry vampires. Good morning, Elijah, said the woman in the group. Did hell freeze over? Elijah asked, in return, giving up the friendly approach she'd been set on going with. We have a business proposition, the woman answered. Elijah studied the woman before answering. You have the wrong house. I don't do business with the council. Only council members are brave enough to still travel around the world during these times. Meow, Elijah said from the east side of the house as he marched 3 new zombies to the front. What the hell? One man pulled out his gun and aimed. If you pull that trigger, your friend will be wearing your intestines before that gun drops. Elijah had the machete at the man's gut. Sam, lower the gun, the woman ordered. They're coming, mumbled Sam. I will listen to your master. Elijah poured in his ear. Sam glanced between Elijah and the zombies. With trembling hands, he lowered the gun. Elijah retreated to the door. The second man kept his hand on his holster, while Sam faced Elijah and the zombies. How? Asked the woman, who was watching the zombies that were mowing the yard. So why not? So let's be honest, that's a really good question, I guess, if you really want to know. So I'm saying hi to everyone. So Derek says hi. Nothing like a Friday story time. Hey, it's a great way to start your Friday night if you guys are trying to figure out what to do. So I'm glad you guys are joining me. We're doing chapter 1 of Recruited, which is a post-apocalyptic / fantasy / really dark humor. So what can we say? So pretty much Elijah has decided, by the way, she's still in a bikini and everybody's wondering. So she is definitely trying to figure it out. What is going on? So let's go back to the woman said, how? Watching the zombies that were mowing the yard. Easy. You push the lever, start the mower, and the grass gets cut. Simple, replied Elijah as she even batted her eyes. Has it honestly been that long since the last time you used a lawnmower? Has it? The woman rolled her neck, curling her fingers into a fist. Not the mower, the zombies. Oh, that. Elijah shrugged. No idea. You need to ask Elijah. Meow, Elijah replied from the other side of the group, eyes wide in that innocent look only cats could master. You got that? Elijah asked the trio. One eyebrow raised. No? Damn. Maybe you should speak cat tongue. Elijah smirked as the humans glare. Listen, witch. We don't have time for your games, the second man told Elijah as he moved closer to her. Considering you're on my property, I will do as I please. Elijah cocked her hips, tapping the machete on her side. Does Texas still have the castle law? Meow, shouted Elijah. That's a yes from Elijah. Elisha translated. That's what arrogant fool names their cat the same name as theirs. The second man was on a roll with his ongoing commentary. Only a witch. Calm down, Billy, the female told him. Not my idea, Elijah replied. He named himself. And in case nobody has ever told you, witch is no longer an insult. I will recommend you get more creative. Goodbye. Elijah turned on her heels and marched back inside. I'm concerned with the group. If they tried anything, Elisha will take care of them. So you guys have to remember, so she has been hanging out, minding her own business, at least that's what she thinks, while this group of people who are supposed to be coming for help happen to be all sorts of angry. So in case you guys are wondering, when we left off in the intern diaries, magic was not something the general population knew about. So this is still within the parameters that at some point in time, nobody had a clue that witches were around, that magic was real. So this is where she's at. And as you can tell, I am slowly burning because while it's only, high 80s, I'm still like, oh my God. So don't mind me as I completely burn to death here, guys. So let's continue with, why are these people hanging out in her house? Because let's be honest, she's not that concerned. She might be a little bored. Elijah, please. The female begged, stopping her. We need your help. Hell did freeze over, Elisha told them. This can't possibly be good. To have the head of the human council begging this lowly witch for help means the demons have invaded Earth and are eating your children. I'm totally curious now. Come in. The trio entered the house. Sam and Billy stood by the door, guarding their boss. The female and Sam in the living room. Not what I expected. Not what you expected? Elisha asked. It's normal, replied the female. Well, it's only the living room. My human killing tools are in the spare bedroom, right next to my cauldron. Elisha made herself comfortable on the couch and faced the group. No reason to mix work and pleasure now. Witch, Billy mumbled under his breath. Speak, Elisha ordered. You interrupted my sunbathing and I have plans for the rest of the day. We found a cure, the female told her. For the resting bitch face disease plaguing your subordinates? Good for you, Elisha said, giving the other two men an approving nod. For the plague, the female quickly answered, holding her employees back. Really? Elisha covered her mouth with an extra gesture. Let me guess. You find a colony of elves and you're planning to massacre them for their blood. There are no such things as elves, Billy told her, looking down at her as she was covering feces. Of course not, Elisha mimicked the condescending tone. And until 50 years ago, there was no actual witches or magics on Earth. You've killed most of my species, so you might as well be a myth now. No elves. The woman jumped as her subordinates adjusted the holsters again. Just a child. And Elisha asked, We need you to find her for us and bring her back. The woman looked down at the ground when she finished. Do I look like the mailman to you? Elisha asked. Are they even old enough to know what a mailman is? Billy shot her the middle finger while Sam turned to face the outside world. Manners? Elisha replied with her hand on her chest. Bless their heart. Elisha enjoyed the old Southern expression. It was never a compliment, but the type of underhanded insult that made those formerly from the North think twice of the meaning. Days like this, she really missed those old Southern ladies that could insult anyone without losing their smiles. It's been tense today, the female replied. We're all on edge. This is the first genuine lead we had in years. Are you planning to sacrifice her to your god in an effort to save humanity? Elisha picked her nails with a machete. Or did poor Jesus finally give up on your all when he figured out what a rotten crop they left him with? Kathy, we're wasting our time, Sam whispered to his boss. Do you know I can hear you? Elisha told him, not bothering to look at him. Whispering? Just a waste of time. Don't you want to see this plague end? Sam asked, raising his voice. Which? Elisha pointed at herself. Remember? She paused again for effort. And in case you have forgotten, we're immune to your disease. You made this crap? So why should I care if it kills you all? More pets for Elijah. Humans are dying, Kathy told her. We could use some allies. We tried to help. And when we did, you hunted us down and used us as lab rats, Elisha told her from the couch. The reason I haven't killed you is because of that damn treaty. Your time is up. She's being held by demons, Billy added. So? Asked Elisha. Don't you care that an innocent child is being held hostage by a monster? Sam pushed her. Not at all, Elisha answered, shaking her head. What do I get out of this? We can make your life a lot better, Kathy answered, pulling an envelope from her pocket. A large territory anywhere in the Americas to start a new life for your kind. Lifetime supply of food, all your essentials, as well as free pass through all the territories from south to North Pole. Oh, yes. In case I decided to go on vacation to any of the decimated cities in this side of the world. So appealing. Elisha glared out of the envelope that Kathy held out to her. Didn't you fight for your people? Don't you want to see them come back to their full glory? Kathy placed the envelope on the living room table. We're giving you an opportunity to claim a place in this world again for them. Besides, you missed the freedom to go as you please and do as you want. I'm offering you that for a small favor. Small favor? Elisha gave a dry chuckle. Break into a demon-infested location, rescue an unknown child, and deliver her to your miserable hands, which could be just as bad as the demons for that kid. Are you kidding me? The orders are in the envelope, as well as clearance to enter any location bound to the council. Kathy adjusted her suit. Which is, expect you to deliver in 7 days. If you succeed, we will fulfill our side of the agreement. What makes you think I'm agreeing to this? Elisha glanced at the envelope before her eyes fell on Kathy again. You're bored, Kathy replied. We'll be back in 7 days to collect the child. The trio walked out of the door as Elijah entered. Sam jumped out of the way when Elijah passed him, and it was like an invisible hand had pushed him in. Using his power, Elijah slammed the door behind him, not bothering to look back at the group. You told your pets not to eat them, Elijah asked, staring at the closed door. Maybe? Elijah licked his paws. Elijah? We don't need the rest of their buddies crashing through the front door now, Elijah told him, grabbing the envelope. Fine. Elijah closed his eyes as screaming gut sounds were heard from outside. Great. Now I need 3 more zombies. The horror! Elijah mocked him. Please tell me you didn't buy that whole land for your people crap, Elijah asked, jumping on the table. Elijah passed him the letter. Of course not. Last time that race gave another group land, they locked them in reservations and treated them like second-class citizens. Then why are you contemplating this madness? Elisha knew the shimmer in Elisha's eyes way too well. Aren't you curious why the demons are guarding a child? Elisha asked. How did the humans find out about it, and why do they think that this is the new answer to their prayers? You do know curiosity killed the cat, Elisha asked her closely. Last time I checked, I'm the cat here, and dying is not part of my plan for the week. Oh, come on. It'll take more than a demon to kill you. Elisha pulled him stomach. Are you seriously that bored? Elisha gave the letter one last look. We're definitely that bored, Elisha conceded. Fine. Elisha rubbed his paws over his fence. I'm going on the record saying this is a horrible idea. We should let the humans burn in hell and mind our own business. But since you're bleeding hard for kids, let's do this. You know you're excited. Elisha skipped towards her room. No, I'm not, Elisha replied. What are you doing? Going to get supplies. Elisha answered from the door. We have enough food and supplies to last us 2 lifetimes. We don't age, Elisha pointed out. I want some new toys. Elisha grinned like a kid with a cake. You're hopeless. Elisha jumped off the table. I'll get the house ready for their departure. I need more zombies. Are you planning to give them instructions to recruit when they kill themselves? Elisha asked, peering over from the bedroom. I hate you, Elisha replied, leading out the back door. Why is my familiar a necromancer? Elisha wanted to know. The worst part that he cared more about the walking dead than he did the living. At least he had been fond of their neighbors when they were alive. It surprised her he kept their bodies intact as zombies. Letting the thoughts of Elijah and his zombies obsession go, she headed out to get changed. A bikini has an advantage around angry humans. but not the most efficient choice for carrying weapons. So that was chapter 1, my friends, of Recruited. So I told you I do write quirky. This is probably one of those stories that I had a lot of fun writing, just because she is so wild. There's nothing you can do about it. While Isis and the team is very mild, Isis is very loving, she's caring, she wants everybody to get along. Elijah is pretty much a trained soldier. She was in war, she was in general, she's been through a lot, she's very confident who she is, and she's not going to downplay this. She's not trying to, sugarcoat who she is and her powers, not concerned about it. But like many creatures at this point in time, she's been locked up in her house for a while and happens to be bored. So when this crazy idea comes in that even her cat is going, really should not do this like this. This is not going to turn out good for us. Why are we doing this? Curiosity just gets the best of her. There is nothing she can say besides why. Why are the humans doing this? What are they really trying to do? And why is this kid being held by demons? So Recruiter is going to take you all the way up to where she actually finds the kid. And let me just tell you, it goes from one idea to another. You get to find out how they're bonded. You get to find out a little bit more about their powers and how powerful they both are. So 2 supernatural creatures that are pretty much almost immortal. And they're just badass. Everything about them is a lot of fun. And I wanted this book to not feel so dread and doom. So you get the whole tongue cheek. You get the whole concept of her. Okay, so you are in charge. What do you want? Not concerned. Don't care. So that's what you're going to get. So you get lots of sass, a whole lot of attitude from both of them, and a whole bunch of exciting. So if you're interested into dystopia, at least if you want some fantasy, go with it. Let me know. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. As you can tell, we will make a note not to name characters like that again, because that is a tongue twister. So I apologize. Things that I didn't realize was going to be this difficult. But on paper, it looks really good. It's so much fun on paper. Until you try to read this out loud and realize, oof, that was not the best plan I had. So let me know, guys, any questions, any concerns, anything you guys want to know about this fun series. The real question, if you guys haven't thought about it, is when is book 2 and 3 coming? So ideally, it will be probably fall of 24 before the ones come out. We are going to be finishing the Assassin series first, because I owe that to Eric. So Eric's book 3 should be coming out probably beginning of 24. I am considering, so I need some feedback. Let me know what you guys think. I am considering of doing a Kickstarter for book 3. So that's kind of what I'm planning to do. So I can give you guys a whole bunch of goodies to go with that and really push that book. So book 3, if I'm probably going to do it that way, you're going to see it probably an entire Kickstarter for that one. So, Katie is back. It's all good, honey. I'm glad you made it. So yes, here to ask any questions, any concerns, any questions about it. Just finished chapter 1, which is super, super fun. A bunch of sass, a bunch of attitude, and a bunch of just be prepared. Things are about to go down. If the world ended and you have a witch left, what would she be doing? That's the real question. So let me know if you guys have any questions. As of right now, I'm thinking book 2 will be, let's see, probably fall of next year. So Charlotte says, love her sass. She is so sassy. It is, everybody's going to say our characters speak to us. I'm always very concerned that I will hate for my characters all to sound the same. So every time I write, I have a visual of what these people are until they actually get very cemented. Elijah was probably one of those first ones that she was very much who she was from the beginning. There was nothing in terms of her personality not being sassy, that she just didn't care. You know, she's a war vet, she's very much in tune, and she is just so powerful. She's not apologizing for who she is. And her cat, it's very much kind of like the grounding rod in her bubble. Like, this is the conscious is going to point out, like, this is not a good idea. Like, we should not be doing this. Why are we doing this? And eventually, you know, she's going to do it anyway. So he's not going to leave her alone. But he's seriously considering, like, do we really think this through? Is this something that we really should have done? So this is what you guys get from this series. It's a lot of fun. This is literally a really short novella. When I first started out, it was meant to be between 8 to 12,000 words. So this is about 15 to 16,000 words. So this is maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, really, really fast read. So for anybody who wants to devour a fun, pretty much adventure this is in. When I first wrote it, I did the horrible thing of leaving it in a cliffhanger. like more of a cliffhanger than knowing this is book 1. Like the last time I left it, it was very much like in hell. Oh, hell broke loose. And I'm very much angry people. So when I decided to go back and publish it, more things got fleshing out. And also, of course, she's no longer left in, pit of hell getting crazy. And I'm like, at least we got her out of that. So people were not as angry, but angry enough to be like, okay, what are we going to do next? So this is at least be prepared. So if you're the person that needs to bench in a series, I would say wait for this one. Because then you're going to be like, DC, when is the next one coming? So give this one a hold if you need all of it. If you just want a nice, fun palate cleanser, this is a fun story to check out. And it's so much fun. And there's so much sassy. And hey, I got to indulge my whole idea of like, what if I could outsource my grass cutting to zombies? This would be it. One of the things you will find out in this book more than anything is you're probably going to be more afraid of people than you are zombies. Because when you have a necromancer on your team, absolutely be afraid of people. Zombies, not so much. So any questions, my friends? Anything you guys have in mind? Anything you guys have questions? Because I am extremely grateful you guys are joining me. Also, let me know what book you guys want to read next week. I was thinking of doing famine. So I haven't done war now that I think about it. But one of my favorite scenes in the series is the introduction of Famine, the horseman. So I figure since we're going with crazy characters that make you go, so we might do Famine just so I can introduce you to that character and kind of bring them into the light and kind of introduce you. So if you guys agree with that, let me know. In the meantime, salut, my friends. Cheers, everyone. Hope you guys are staying safe. Stay well. Have an amazing evening. Know that I'm sending you lots of love, lots of blessings, and I am always so happy and grateful you guys are joining me. If you're curious about it, check out Elijah. If you have questions about where to find me, check out my website. I'm hoping to have some really awesome news next week for you guys. I am working on doing literally an overhaul of my website. So we're changing some covers, but also I'm working on giving some really cool giveaways. So right now, if you check out my website, you can get a copy for free of the Origins of Constantine, but I'm actually going to be getting ready to change it. So you should be able to sign up and download a free short novella that you're not going to get anywhere else. So I will let you know when that's ready. So been working on that for the last 3 nights and haven't slept very well. So can't wait to show you guys. The covers are gorgeous. So I'm going to be posting some like really cool sneak peeks of those covers. And if you decided to stay in the newsletter because you just want to hang out, you're going to have this really cool multiple. So I'm going to be pretty much giving you 3 short stories that nobody else has. Plus Constantine. So hey, make sure to kind of stay tuned. So next week, I'm hoping it'll be ready to launch next week. So that way you guys can just get your short stories, get some doses of quirky characters, and then kind of going from there. So I'll give you guys some updates next week. In the meantime, sending you guys love, sending you guys lots of blessings, and hopefully you guys have an amazing evening. I am going to see how we're going to slowly close these out and have a great night. So to our YouTube, Facebook family, I'm going to say goodbye. Bye, guys. And to our TikTok, I'll see you guys around.